Kala, Yahweh, Bashem, Yahushai, Brakadao, Brakadao Shai, Brakadao, Brakadao Shai, Brakadao, Brakadao Shai, Wada, the Ball, Dash. I'd like to get the honors to the elders, apostles, great millstone that teaches truth, which we know is 100% true, true word of our Lord. Let's do a lesson. I'm not a member of GMS, but I do follow after their teachings. And I know through the Spirit and from research and reproof that they do teach the 100% truth. You know, you have a lot of other groups out here, but a lot of these other groups do not teach the 100% truth. A lot of them will just tell you pretty much you're Israelites. They'll let you know who the other tribes are, who the other nations are. But as far as a deep dive, dwell into this truth, you know, many of them miss the point. And the main point is to be teaching these prophecies and be teaching these prophecies correctly, to warn our people of the impending danger that is about to befall you Israelites. That's talking to you so-called Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans. You know, we have obligation once we have this truth to warn our people about what's coming and what measures we are supposed to take in these times. And one of the main prophecies is the MOTB, Revelation chapter 13, verse 16, that no man may be able to buy or sell lest he take the mark. And that's very vital because the Lord makes it very important that all who takes that mark, man, are going to be destroyed along with the heathen. And we know we're at that time where we're close to the end of Esau Edom's reign, and these things are going to happen. You know, with the last few days of these prophecies, man. So very important how we maneuver in these times. And by the some of these groups maybe purposely mislead the people, or they just don't have the eyesight. You know, they're just not um, giving us 100% truth. You know, and therefore they're going to be a stumbling block to part of the 2/3 of our people. But those of us have this truth, man. That's the miracle within itself, man. To be able to, with all this deception and being in the valley of uh, the shadow of death, to be able to have this knowledge, you know, that's shared amongst the Israelites, you so-called Black, Hispanic, Native Americans, man. The elect, in which we hopefully saying hopefully that we are the elect, you know, that we're able to finish this our course on out, that we're to be chosen at the end, man. And how we go about being chosen by going through the purification process, you know, the trials and errors, you know, by giving ourselves a living sacrifice to this word, to this truth. And but yeah, let me hit a precept real quick to back up what I'm saying. But yeah, we're in a beautiful time, and I often say that in these lessons, and that a lot of people might say, well, y'all say the same thing over and over again because it needs repeating. It needs to be repeated because it's very vital to your salvation, man. And the mark, knowing the mark, is very vital to us surviving. And not knowing these things, man, is going to get a lot of people going to be put to death. St. Matthew chapter 18, verse 11, because it is given to you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven, but to them it is not given. So like I say, the 2/3 is not given to, and the elect is given to, you know. Romans chapter 11, verse 7. Israel hath not obtained that which he seeketh, for but the election hath obtained it, and the rest were blinded. Because you have a lot of Israelites groups out here that also teach this doctrine that all Israel is going to be saved, man. Then someone will push this thing that, we're supposed to unite, and once we all unite, then the Lord's going to come back. That's not what the Lord said, man. He come to catch some of you slipping. And 2/3 are going to be caught slipping, man, because they're going to they have been warned what they're supposed to do, in these last days of time. Those that don't heed the warning are going to be destroyed, man. It's not for everybody, and you'll see a lot of jakes as part of the covering, just waking up, getting the skin covered because you don't have the spirit. Just waking up and realizing that you're Israel is just the beginning of the journey. The full journey, man, that's just the beginning. That's just receiving the milk. So that's still being attached to the placenta. But once you're born, you start receiving the milk, and you start getting teeth, and you're able to grow into this truth. And how do we grow? By studying, showing ourselves, to be redeemable by making these sacrifices, giving our time to this truth, to study and to supping with the Lord, and make sure we're keeping our lamp oil filled at all times, because we don't know the day or the time the Lord is going to come, but we know through the scriptures and by, like say, you can know when the season's coming in, that we almost at that time, man. We at the time of the Lord's return. Yeah, wars and rumors of wars, talk of famine, death, plagues, all these things, man, here at that time, man. And right now, you see Esau Edom is on his last leg, and it tells you at the end, man, that Satan, knowing his time is to an end, he's going to come, for everything that he has, Amos chapter 3, verse 2. You only have I known of all the families of the earth. And who's that you? Is talking about the 12 tribes of Israel. Like I say, you so-called Black, Hispanics, Native Americans, and you Jakes that look like the other tribes, and raised in these other nations to look like these other nations. It's not just all black, we are all black Hebrew Israelites. We come in all shades and colors, that's part of the scattering. But we know through the Spirit who is Jakes, man. And Jake is going to receive this truth, And at the end of the day, the angel's going to decipher out. They're going to do the sifting. John chapter 10, verse 27. My sheep hear my voice, and I know them, and they know me. And so we are the sheep of the Lord, man. The Lord we hear the Lord's voice. And we know his voice. We know who he is. Therefore, he gave us the name, That's how we know to call on the name, because he made it personal. Yahweh being the Father, Yahweh Shah being the Son, not Yahusha, not Allah, not Jesus Christ, man, which a lot of these groups, be going off, man. And they've been warned, they've been given a name, but yet they still, they still stubborn, Second Ezra chapter 8, verse 1. For the Most High have made his world for many, but the world to come for few. Shalakin. So this world to come, man, 2/3 are not going to be taken into the kingdom, man. You niggas is not going to make the kingdom, man. You Jakes that want to still continue to carry on the ways and traditions of men of this society is not going to bring that garbage into the kingdom. We have our high holy days, man. We have our laws, statutes, commandments, and things that we're supposed to live by. The foods that we're supposed to eat, all these things, man, are going to be taken into the kingdom and taken into account, because a lot of you Jakes, you still worship these pagan holidays. And you got some Jakes that just believe in keeping the laws, man. But it's a lot more than keeping the laws, the acts that we do, Only our acts, our works, All all these things are taken into account for who's going to be delivered into the kingdom. And Lord, like I say, Lord will, we don't know. But Lord will, we are the elect. And we say that humbly speaking, that we're able to finish our course. And we're going to finish off with 2 Ezra chapter 8, verse 1. The Most High hath made the world for many, but the world to come for few. Okay, I just read that. But like I said, man, only a few is going to make it into the kingdom. And salvation is not for these heathens, man. You got Jakes that are heathens. They're going to be counted as heathen in that destruction. But the only difference is they get to come back, after they've been destroyed, purified through that hellfire, through the loins of the elect. And then they come into the kingdom, in those righteous bodies. But that's pretty much it, man. I'm going to close out here. Lord will is edifying. We're in a beautiful time. Stay tuned in and stay prayed up. That's a shalom.